Matt, I was watching some clips of the correspondence dinner that was held at the White House,
Right.
and President Obama had a comedian there, something like a roast and toast. And it was a comedic satire type event with correspondents and news reporters, etc. And this man, Mr. Larry Wilmore, an African-American brother, used the N-word in reference to the president. He said, "My N-word, you did that," to the president. The president gets up and he embraces him, he laughs about the joke, and
Right.
he begins to speak.
Right.
I didn't like that because I
Good.
believe that we as African-American men, including the president, is the highest standard of all young black men should look up to as the example of what we should want to follow.
But this happens
But
all the
for
time.
him to allow a comedian to use the N-word in a room full of white folks and laugh about it as the president, I got a problem with that.
Well, I don't disagree with you at all. And as a matter of fact, that guy, as far as I'm concerned, they probably should have kicked him out the moment that he said it. And I don't know, Obama says he didn't care, but I wonder deep down inside if he did or if he didn't. But look, here's what happens. I agree. That's the kind of word that shouldn't be used. It's not necessary. And what it does is if a black person uses that word, they get away with it. If a white person, let's just switch things around and say that particular individual that was hosting that event was a white person, do you think for 1 minute they'd be employed or doing anything right now? They'd be gone.
No.
And if that shouldn't happen anywhere else, you could get arrested. But you've got black hip hop music where that word comes up all the time. So I would like to see everyone.
Well,
if you're not going to take completely out, this is going to happen.
You can still use that word in America and not be arrested. There are many racist-minded people who use that word every day in America and not arrested. There have been black folks who've called the cops on white people for using that word, and they have freedom of speech. They don't go to jail. But my problem with the word being used at that dinner in front of the president and him not taking homage with the man using that, I had a problem because, dear brother, you are the president. You should speak out against that word ever being used because of the trauma associated with it. And we got to teach young African-American people, including those in the hip-hop community. God made man. Sick-minded, racist white people made niggers. That's not God's creation.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
a racist-minded creation.
Let me tell you something. I have many, many black men and women that listen to my shows, my syndicated show, my morning show here, and they all feel the same way. I think they should stand up and say something because if they did, they would tell that guy to shut his mouth, and they don't ever want to see him
And how
again.
often in private do you and your friends use that word?
I don't use that word,
It's
Quanell.
all right. Confession's good for the soul,
Let me
man.
tell you something, brother. You can come around
clean,
with me
man.
anytime you want.
You and your quote-unquote black friends, man?
You can throw out any accusations
Ben
you
Carson,
want to.
Herman
You
Cain?
can do whatever you want. But I want to tell you something. It's the black people in the United States that they're the ones that start this word removing itself.
White folk created the word. They should be the vanguard out front and helping to remove the word.
Come on, Quanell, you know better than that.
White folks did start that word. Who started it?
It doesn't matter who started it. It's the black community that needs to finish it.
No, it's both communities that should finish that word and do it and get away from it and bury the word. Not just us. Both of us should do it together.
More than happy to help you.